Welcome back, guys. Reggie versus Alice here again. I'm going to do a quick video discussing about the Blackguard. Is it worth acquiring in WoW Classic? It's a weapon that can be created by swordsmiths. I want to go into full detail about it, how I can use it for Fury prot tanking, and how you can also use it for DPS. It's an underrated weapon. It's kind of a jack of all trades, but a master of none, and we'll get into it right here. Exclusive first, you're not going to see any guides talking about the Blackguard. That's what this channel is about. Real quick before I begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, the YouTube channel is growing. We need your support. These videos are totally free. So if you're liking the content, if you want to see more guide videos and also WoW Classic Adventures, I have both of those videos going up to my channel. Each week you'll see about a different guide, and then you'll also see a couple of videos about my two warrior characters, as the proof is in the pudding. I do good things for the guild that I'm in and the server that I'm on. Less about parsing, more about tinkering with different weapons and different obscure type of things in WoW Classic when it comes to melee DPS. So let's get it started. Blackguard, the sword, is it worth acquiring in WoW Classic? Let's get to it. Alright, so we're back in Winter Spring. I like to test on these enemies right here. Let's get into a quick recap of what the Blackguard is. So, you upgrade it right there. Alright, so what the Blackguard is, and I'll put it up on the screen also, it's a sword. It's a one-handed sword. You can dual wield it, so that's a bonus also. You can dual wield it. It's made by swordsmiths, so that's going to make it rare because not too many blacksmiths are going swords, but it's made by swordsmiths with exalted thorium brotherhood reputation. So that's a key thing there. So early on in WoW, people needed to go for, you got to pick which blacksmithing area you're going to go into, hammersmith, armorsmith, or swordsmith. I went swords, as you're going to have, for the bigger guild that you're in, you're going to have dominant armorsmiths and maybe even hammersmiths, especially on the alliance side. But I'm on the horde side. I am the only swordsmith on the entire server. So I have alliance guys coming to me for crafting blackguards, as the alliance have 5 plus weapon skill to swords, and you have a few hordes also that want to have a dual tanking weapons instead of using shields. All right, so that's what the Blackguard is. The reason why it's a all-around weapon but a master of none, its stats, which are kind of odd. So its speed is 1.80 seconds. So it's 1.8 speed, which is not 1.3 or 1.5 as most daggers are. So it's a little fast, a little slower than daggers, which is not optimal. And then also the stats on it. So it does provide some stamina, +9 stamina, which is always good. And the equip is kind of odd. If it was like a DPS weapon, like a fully DPS weapon, you would think this thing would have crit, right? But it has parry instead. So it doesn't have like a dodge, but it does have parry. So it increases your chance to parry an attack by 1%. Of course, we know percents are very big in Classic WoW. Percents go a little lower in TBC and Wrath. But in WoW, if you get 1% of anything, it's very big, right? So, and it gives you 51.7 damage per second. That's the underrated thing about this weapon, right? And its top end damage is 121. The low end is 65, the top end is 121. So that right there gives this weapon kind of a mid-grade. It's a mid-grade weapon. It's not a total DPS weapon. It's not a total tank weapon. It's kind of a mixture of both. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle of the spectrum. That's what makes this weapon unique and underrated. All right. So when you compare it to like a Brutality Blade, because I have both now, but I had the Blackguard first. The Brutality Blade, it's 1.68 top end damage, but as you can see here, but the damage per second is actually a little less than the Blackguard. The Blackguard is 51.7. The Brutality Blade is 51.6. So on paper, the Blackguard is going to give you a higher damage per second. Now, of course, the Brutality Blade does have strength and agility on it. Plus, it has another agility, 20 agility, because it gives you a chance to get a critical strike by 1%. So, like I mentioned before, the Blackguard I had, of course, way before I was able to get a Brutality Blade. So this was my offhand weapon that allowed me to get the Viscag in my guild, right? So if you don't have, if your guild has the mats, like I said, lava cores, your guild is going to have a ton of them, because you're running molten core every week. Some guilds run molten core 3, 4, 5 times with different raids. You're going to have a ton of fiery core and lava cores in the bank. Now, let's get to what it costs to create the Blackguard. All right, so the Blackguard here, all right, it costs 6 lava cores, 6 fiery cores. In the beginning, phase 1, phase 2, of course, this was expensive. Now, phase 5, it's cheap. You're going to be able to have 20, 30, 40 lava cores and fiery cores in your bank easy, because they drop. It drops about 10 each molten core raid. All right, so you have lava cores, fiery cores. You need 6 of those. You also need 6 dark iron bars. You can get those easy. You just got to get a miner to be able to smelt it at the dark iron, the dark anvil. And it takes 10 Arcanite bars, 10 Arcanite bars. So of course you get an Arcanite bar cooldown every 2 days if you're an alchemist. You can have this done in a week, or you buy them off the auction house. If you're an alchemist and you're making this every 2 days, you're going to have the Arcanite bars by now. And then you farm the Guardian stones from I think they're like a golem in Ungoro Crater. It's a stone golem. They're elite in Ungoro Crater. You farm 12 of those, you get the Guardian stones. On my auction house on Deviant Delight, they go for about 10 to 13 gold each, right? So it saves you money if you go farm them. Go farm 12. Go make your Blackguard. All right, so that's what it is. It looks expensive, but of course during phase 5, it's going to be cheaper. Now that your guild has an abscess amount of lava cores and fiery cores, you farm up the Arcanite bars and the Guardian stones, and you get 6 of these dark iron bars created. It's 8 dark iron ores per bar, so you get those done, or you can buy them off the auction house. And there you go. You'll be able to create your Blackguard. The key is you have to go to the Black Anvil to create it, right? The Black Anvil is where you create the Blackguard. I'm going to try to go there and get this thing created again. I've sold about 6 of them, right? 6 of them, about 3 to Alliance, 3 to Horde. All right, so I've got the Blackguard here. So first thing I wanted to do is show you how it does with tanking, right? So I also have the Quell Sarar, right? And it's a superior weapon than the Quell Sarar by far. Most tanks should not be using the Quell Sarar, but if you are using it, this goes very nice with it. So I'm gonna equip that also. Your Quell Sarar 126, this is 121, 52.5 to 51.7. Of course, this gives you the 13 defense, 300 armor. This one gives you a chance to parry. So if you pair them up, it is great. This is how I tank, and there hasn't been a tank that's been able to get the snatch aggro off me as I've been using this right here, this combo. Quell Sarar, Blackguard combo. I'm the only one using it on the Horde side of my server. There is 2 Alliance that are using the same combo until they get better in AQ40 and beyond. All right, so first I want to show you tanking with it. All right, so we're going up here. Let's fight a bear. Let's fight a bear. All right, cool. So I've got DPS gear on, of course, but I'm going to showing you. Actually, you know what? Let's show the tanking outfit. Let's do the tanking outfit. Yeah, dual wheel tank. Boom. So I got my tanking stuff on, which gives me, yeah, should be fully hit capped. All right, let's do a little bit of tanking with this one. All right, so I've got the Wrath gear on, and let's do some tanking. All right, so this is how it's going to look here. If you're tanking with it, you have your Quell Sarar in one hand, you got your Blackguard in the next hand. You got your Crusader's going to be popping off, which increases your strength, right? You're going to be having that. This is giving you everything that's popping off. As my melee is going off. So we're going to be looking good. This is tanking here. You got your deep wounds. You got your Sunder Armors going on. Boom, and he's taken down. So that was pretty good. Lost about 20% of my life. Blackguard goes really good, as you see. You saw the procs and everything going good. Crusader procced. It's very solid. I got the life-giving gem here. You're not going to use that. Really good. So now what I want to do is I want to go Edge Masters, right? Cool. And I'm gonna equip the Blackguard here, and we're gonna combine it with the Kosarar as far as your DPS. Well, actually, no. Let's not do that. Let me equip my CTS. This is the combo I was using before I got the Brutality Blade. So we just showed tanking with it. You're gonna be healed up. You're gonna be doing good AoE threat with your tanking spec when you're using the Kosarar, if you're still using it in your Blackguard. You can also use the Kosarar with your Thunder Fury, right? You get that. I'm waiting for my binding to drop. All right, so let's test out DPS with the Kosarar. Like I said, it's a jack of all trades item, master of none. Okay? All right, so we're going here again. All right, so we got good threat going on here. All right, and this guy's getting chopped down pretty easy. We're knocking it out. Kosarar is really good for an offhander also. If you don't have your Brutality Blade, this is a good weapon to be able to get. All right, the immolation popped off a little bit because I'm using the Cloak of Flames, Deep Wound, Bloodthirst, melee. Pretty nice. Let's do one more. Showing off the Blackguard, all right? Now, if you do not have the Brutality Blade, like I said, if you do not have the Brutality Blade, this is a good option to get. It's fairly cheap to craft. As far as your Blackguard goes, see how I can make these on DV the Light. As you can see here also, Trade Skill Master, I was able to sell one. This is way back in phase 3. I was able to sell one for 1,400 gold, and then I sold another one for 800, and it has the last time I sold it there for 800 there too. It did sell for the 800, but that was eons ago. It's much cheaper to make now. It is also rare, so people are going to pay for rare items. Also, there's rare weapon collectors in the game. If you didn't know, it is a thing. It may not be a thing on every server, but it does exist. You can be able to have this sword up here if you're able to craft it. If you're exalted with Thorian Brotherhood, pick it up if you're a swordsmith. If not, try to find a swordsmith and get it crafted because it'll do you great damage. I posted numbers back in my early raids, which you guys can watch on the YouTube channel. YouTube, Reggie vs. Solace. Also, twitch.tv, the old VODs are there too, Reggie vs. Solace. Before I had the Brutality Blade, I was DPSing with this. I had the Viscag and this weapon. I had the Viscag and the Blackguard. And I was doing top 3 damage overall in my raid. Not caring about parses or anything like that. In my raid, I was doing top 3, which was proven a lot because this is a versatile, underrated weapon. All right, let's do one more. Cool. Boom, we're here. All right, we got the battle shot up. We got an overpower proc. That's awesome. We're gonna hit him with a bloodthirst. Boom. Got the bloodthirst going there. And you just DPSing it down. Look at that DPS right there, guys. Look at the DPS. Pretty solid. Pretty solid right there. And let's look at numbers real quick. So with that Blackguard, I was able to do Blackguard combined with your Darkmoon Cloud Maelstrom. We did some great melee damage. We got 2012 melee damage there. You got an overpower proc for 557. Your Lightning Strike proc twice, 461. That was pretty damn good. So the Lightning Strike proc twice. Of course, you got your Immolation from the Cloak of Flames. That gave you 25. And then your Deep Wounds proc 3 times, or 3 ticks, for 162. Right. So that was awesome right there. And you can see down there, it was a tick. Right. So that was great. Lightning proc twice. The average was the minimum was 224. The max was 237. So that showed you right there with the Maelstrom trinket is still going strong. You guys see videos up on the YouTube channel for that. But also the Blackguard, underrated sword pickup. Right. If you're a sword rogue, you can use it. Right. If you're a warrior, you can use it. I've used it. I've did top 3 DPS with the Blackguard as my offhand. If you don't have the Thunder Fury, if you don't have your Brutality Blade, you can use your Blackguard as a DPS weapon. It is very good, and it does have higher DPS, damage per second, than your Brutality Blade. It does not have stats, but neither does the Viscag. But you can use your Viscag as your main hander, and this is a great offhander. If you're Fury prot tanking, use this with your Kosarar, use this with your Thunder Fury, so on and so on. You can be able to use this in your offhand, as you don't want to use a shield. You can use this right here. So the Blackguard, this is the guide for that. I've been using it for well over 6 months. I still use it, even though I have the Brutality Blade now. I still use it as our Fury Prot tanking, and I'm going to be using it this Sunday too. Speaking of that, this video is going to drop raids. I have a full schedule now. We're going to be as Scarab Lord is finishing up for me and my server, as I'm going for Scarab Lord. That is a big opportunity. I'll have videos for that. You can watch those on the Twitch channel, also twitch.tv Reggie vs. Alice. You guys see it down here. That's big. If you guys just hit up with a follow. Don't need anyone to subscribe. We're just trying to build the following, viewership up, the community up, as we're building it there. You'll see Blackguard coverage. You'll see me tanking, as some of the other tanks have stopped playing Classic WoW. I'll be stepping up and from doing DPS, and I'll also be doing some tanking. You're going to see the crossover until I get my Thunder Fury, but you're also going to see the Blackguard. Proof is going to be in the pudding with this one, boys. Blackguard, I'm happy I crafted it. People still requesting it. It's an underrated item that you guys can have, especially if you're sword starved. It goes well with the ZG swords also. You can be able to use this thing, this bad boy right here. It gives good speed as an offhander, and also good tank stats also, and also raw DPS. As you guys see here, 51.7 damage per second, higher DPS than the Brutality Blade. And that is looking at the numbers and looking at the stats. All right, guys. Blackguard, tell me what you think. If you've been thinking about this item, or if you're new and did not even know about this item, not even existing. Let me know what you guys think of it. Blackguard, full guide, showing you where to craft it, how to craft it, and what my thoughts are after using it for about 6 months. All right, new videos coming, guys. Reggie vs. Alice. Hit me with a sub on YouTube. Hit me with a follow and join the community on Twitch. Twitch.tv Reggie vs. Alice. New videos, new guides, new adventures coming out. I'll check you guys next time.